everybody, welcome. Today we are going to put together our pumpkin centerpiece. So this is the pumpkin centerpiece tutorial. So I'm going to help you go through all of the instructions so you can see them step by step and help you put this craft together for your, hopefully for your Thanksgiving table. I'm going to turn my camera down so you can actually see what we have going on here. These are the instructions that we're going to be following tonight. I don't expect you to read them from the screen. I'm going to read them out to you. You should have, if you're watching this tutorial, stop by the library to pick up your pumpkin centerpiece kit. And in your kit, you will find the instructions written out for you. You will find a little template of a pumpkin. You'll have two large sheets of paper with different patterns on them, different colors. All right, and they'll all be held together. Well, actually, you'll also have two pieces of crepe paper. There is a brown and a green in each kit because I did not know whether you would want a brown stem on your pumpkin or a green stem. So those are involved in your kit as well. And they'll all be held with a binder clip, which we're actually going to use to put our craft together. So let's get started. When we look here on our instructions, it says cut out the templates. So take your scissors. These are the things you're going to need at home. They are not included in the kit. You will need a pair of scissors, you will need a pencil, and you will need glue. I have an Elmer's glue stick. Any kind of glue stick will do, or any bottled glue will do, but I will tell you, if you're going to use bottled glue, you want to be very careful about how much you put on your paper. The more glue you put on, the longer it's going to take to dry, and if you put a lot of glue on, you're going to have a lot of trouble opening up your pumpkin at the end so that you can get it to look something like this. Okay? So let's get started. First instruction, cut out your template. I'm going to cut my template out with you. A template is simply a piece of paper or material that you can trace around to make something. You can use a template. A cookie cutter is a template. So you are using that to make something else from that item, right? Cookie cutters you press into, templates you put down, this kind of template you put down on the paper and you trace. All right, so I've got mine cut out. What I want to do is kind of show you how I laid mine out when I cut all of them out to put mine together. You can do it any way that your mind allows you to do it. Now, this is how my mind sees this, and I don't know if I can. You could lay them out this way, I'm sure. And I kind of, when I first did this, made a little mark here, and I put one on this side, and I made a little mark here, and then I thought, am I going to be able to get another one out of this in between those marks? And yes, I can, and it's very close, but you can see if I do 3 on this side and 3 on this side, I should be able to trace 2 here. Let's find out if that's true. So as close to the edge as you can possibly get it, you're going to want to put this on, and then you're going to take your pencil and trace all the way around it. If you are a young person who might find this a little frustrating, ask for some help. Let's put this one on the other side within our little line and trace it out. All right, now what you're going to be able to do is you'll have lots of room here. Let's put this up in the corner, and we'll do another one. Trace that out. Can you all see how I'm tracing around my pumpkin template? Okay. Because we just want to make sure that we have plenty of room in the middle. And maybe we could turn this like this. This is a really good idea. Let's put this one like this and trace it this way. And we'll turn this one over here on this side. And we're going to trace it this way. All right. And then we have plenty of room to make 2 more. The object is to get as many as you can of an even number out of this large piece of paper. And we're going to have to move that a little closer here. It's going to be really tight, okay? But we're going to do it. Okay. I think what I did originally is I put mine on a catty corner in the corners. Like that. And then I did one here and here, and that gave me a little bit more room in the center for my center tube, but we were able to make it fit. You want at the most 8, at the least 6, okay? So you could do 8 or 7. What you want is to have a nice full pumpkin when you open it up, all right? You can see here, the reason we have 2 different colored paper, 2 different style paper, patterns is so that we have an alternating pattern so that it looks cute, right? Got some interest to it. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is perhaps, I'm not gonna cut all of these out here with you, perhaps you're gonna wanna stop the video and you're gonna wanna cut out, trace your other paper and then cut them all out, all right? I'm gonna cut out a few and I'm gonna move on. But, you know, I like to, it's very hard to cut this out from a large piece of paper. So what I typically do is, even as close as these are, I will cut them out and then just trim them down around my tracing line. Okay. So cut them down around your tracing line, trying to stay as true to that line as you possibly can. Nothing is going to be perfect. We are going to be as precise as we can, but we cannot be perfect because we're humans. We're not perfect. If we were going to have these die cut and have them pressed out with a punch, they would be perfect. But since we're doing it by hand, it's not going to be perfect. And see, you can see that I'm cutting these out into smaller sizes so that they're much easier to get close as possible to the line. So keep cutting. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, you should have stopped by the library to pick up your kit. But if you didn't, you're watching this just because it came up in your Facebook feed and you have a desire to make one of these and you would like to stop by and pick up a kit, please stop by the children's area and see what I've got left. I had originally put together 12 kits for people, and I would love for you to come and pick one up if you would like to. And then you can go back and watch the video through our Facebook feed, or if you go to, we have a YouTube channel. And you can go to New Ulm Public Library on YouTube and you will find story times and you'll find lots of programs that we film from the library for you to enjoy. And you can watch this over again and make this with me once you have your kits. Okay, I'm gonna cut out one more and then I'm gonna move on, but you go ahead and stop this video and continue cutting until you are all finished cutting, and then start the video again, pause and then unpause, okay? There we go. Try not to cut too quickly. It's not a race. You have plenty of time to get this done. You want to get to be as accurate as you can. All right. So you've paused the video, you've finished tracing and cutting, and I have less shapes than you will have, but let's see what we're doing. Our next instruction says, once you have all your pumpkins cut out, you will want to fold each one in half. Fold the paper so that the printed design is on the inside and the white part is on the outside. You're going to fold side to side. So here's what our pumpkin looks like, and we are going to fold it this way. All right. So that is one. You want to make the creases as tight as possible. So however you do that, if you put it on the table and run your nail across it, or you just run your nail down it, you want that tight crease. All of one color or pattern together. I have some that I've made previously that are a different pattern, and I have those in a different pile here, okay? So here are the ones with the pumpkins and the birds on them. Fold them side to side, make a nice crease down the center, put the colors together. Again, we're gonna go side to side, white side out, printed side in, nice crease in the middle. All right, you can pause your video again and fold all of them, whether you have 6 of each color, 7 of each color, or 8 of each color. Fold them all in half, side to side, printed colored side in the middle, white side on the outside. All right, once we have all this done and we have our piles, we need to make sure, count them out. I'm only gonna put 4 together here with you as a demonstration, okay? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 of one color. You'll have 8 or 6 or 7 of one color. You have to have an equal amount of both colors though. So if you have 8 of one, you need 8 of the other color, okay? So here are my little piles. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put 1 down. It does not matter what color it is. I put 1 down. I leave the crease away from me. For some reason, I feel that it's better for me to have to match the crease facing away from me. You could have it like this. It doesn't matter. You're going to put glue on one side. All right, just one side. So I've got my glue stick here. I'm gonna put it on the fold and all on that side. Can you see that has glue on it? It's a little purple. My glue stick's a little purple. I want it all over this, just one side. I'm gonna take a different color than the one I've just glued, all right? I'm going to put the creases together. So there's my folds together. I'm going to stick them and maneuver them so that those creases are together, and I like to just kind of try and tap that on the table. You can, with a glue stick or glue, you can take it apart and you can realign it as close to perfect as you can, but nobody's perfect, so get it as close as you can. You can kind of open it up and see that color's on one side, that color's on the other. We're gonna fold it back up so all we see is white. The creases are wherever you want them. Open it up and look and say, oh, I've got this color, I need a different color. Put your glue on that color. Try and keep the fold, whether it's facing you or away from you, each time you glue with it in that same direction, right? So my folds are facing me and I'm gonna put my other color, the white side of that other color, down, fold facing me, line up the folds and press it together. Sometimes I will do that. I will try and maneuver it because it's not dry yet and get it lined up as close as possible. Then I'm gonna lay the folds back down, facing me or away from me, but just keep doing it the same way. Make sure you check and say, all right, that's a printed piece. It's got the birds on it. This one is different. I'm gonna glue on this side. All right, glue, 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 glue. Get a nice bit of glue on there. Lay that down. Creases together. And then press it down. You're gonna keep doing that, alternating color. Keep the fold facing you or away from you, but add it on the same time each time. Don't keep flipping it back and forth. You're gonna get really confused. So you're gonna keep building it like that. See, We've got the pumpkins, a different color, the pumpkins, a different color. We're going to fold it up, more glue, glue on the fold, glue around the outside, glue in the center of that pumpkin shape, that half pumpkin shape. We've got our solid, so we need our print. There's our ducks. Fold onto fold. All right. Press it down. Keep going. I'm going to just put, like 4 of each color together. All right, we'll have half a pumpkin in this one. This is the opposite of that color that I just glued on. That's a printed one. Fold to fold, press it down. Okay, got 2 more to do for this. Then I'll show you what we're going to use our binding clip for. All right, so this is my more solid color. I need a printed one. I'm going to take my glue stick and just like the others, a lot of glue on the white part. Make sure it's the right printed one. Fold, next to fold, press it down. Good job. And we have, you're going to keep going. For my demo, I've got 1 more color left. I'm going to glue again. Now my fingers are getting pretty gluey, so what I would suggest you do is keep a wet cloth and a dry cloth on the table with you. And what you can do in between when your fingers get very gluey and you don't want to get glue on the table or on the rest of your pumpkin is wipe your fingertips off on the wet one and dry them off on the dry cloth, and then keep working. All right, so this is just half of what you're working with. All right, but this is what you're going to end up with. And I'm going to kind of open this up again for you and show you it alternates in color, right? We glue on top of each side, the outside of a color. We alternate the colors and we just keep pressing them together, fold on fold, curved side out away from us. When you get all 16 or 14 or 12 pieces put together in alternating color, white side up, take your binder clip, put it on your folds, close it up, and set it aside. That is going to take a little time to dry, and I would walk away. I would pause this video again and walk away and go do something else for a half hour or an hour. Just let it sit and dry, okay? What you're going to end up with in a half an hour when you take that clip off is this. This is my pumpkin. All right, the last pieces we have to glue, you'll notice it's just like a book, right? And the last pieces we have to glue are just the last white pieces together, all right? And so what we're gonna do with our glue stick or our glue is we're going to put it on one side. You don't need to glue both sides that are showing now. Just one side. So glue the fold, glue nicely all around, close up your glue so you have some for next time. This one's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to meet them in the middle. I would go with the outside first, put those outside pieces together first, and then go down and squeeze in the middle along the fold. And then just take maybe half, open that side up. You might hear a little bit of creaking. Take your binder clip, because it will be empty now, and put that together just like that and let it sit for just a few minutes. It'll be fine in a few minutes, all right? You can just let it sit, all right? It's gonna dry. While it's drying, let's take our crepe paper. Crepe paper is a little stretchy. I'm gonna cut this down just a little bit. I tried to fold it up earlier. It's a little too long for my taste. You can roll it up, or you can just twist it however you want to make it. It's kind of up to you. I like to roll it up. So I like to take it just like this, and I just start to roll it in like a little tube. I want one end a little bit wider than the other, and I don't roll particularly just in one way, because I am going to twist it a little bit to try and get that stemmy shape of a pumpkin stem. But you know how when it sits on the pumpkin, it's much wider than it is at the end. This one has come up a little bit. I probably need a little bit of school glue on this, so I'll do that a little bit later. What I did when I made this one was I twisted this end, and then I wanted this end to be open a little bit more, so I just kind of put my scissors in there and I cut that way. And I put my scissors in the other end that I did not twist real tight, that I left open and loose, and just cut it a little bit so that it fringes out, right? Now this is pretty dry. You know, that's the beauty of glue stick. You don't use as much glue. It's not as wet. So now we have to kind of look at it and see. There's a flatter side where it sits better, and then there's a side that is a little indented here. What I'm going to do is open my glue stick again. And there we go. Squeeze that up, turn that. I'm going to get some glue stick on those very loose ends at the bottom, and I'm just going to stick it in the center of the top of my pumpkin. Okay? And then this, you can kind of twist it and bend it to make it look like it has come off a vine, and it's a little too much at the top, like too sharp. So I'm just going to cut the top of it off and make it look a little bit more like a stem. And I'm going to kind of hold it up so you can see. It has the alternating pattern. It has a little stem on it, and it sits nicely with my other one. Maybe I'll cut the top of this one off too a little bit. Oh, that looks 100 times better. All right, so that is really the craft. It seems to be like a lot of steps, and when you read the instructions, maybe you get it, but it's really nice to be able to see someone actually do it and explain to you exactly how you're doing it. And certainly if we could be together in person, I would totally do that with you, but we can't. So we're gonna do tutorials and crafts. I had an idea though. While I was making this, a thought came to me, because the other day I was in my closet, and in order to find my shoe, I had to move 2 rolls of Christmas wrapping paper out of the way. And so I actually brought them downstairs with me. I wanted to show you this one roll of paper because I had this great idea. Once you know how to fold these pieces of paper and put them together in an alternating color pattern, glue them together, hold them together, open them up, and glue them into a shape, you can make all kinds of cool stuff. You know, this is a Thanksgiving Day table craft, right? Our pumpkins would look perfect on a Thanksgiving Day table, right? Little holiday centerpiece, which is why we made them. But next month in December, it's Christmas. This is leftover Christmas paper. I have a thing for blue and white. I really like blue and white, but Christmas colors are red and green. And you could use any old Christmas paper that you want. The same rule applies. You could use a pumpkin, you could use this pumpkin template, or you could make another template. You could even cut this one into more of a round shape, so it's a ball, and then you could make 8 pieces of one wrapping paper and 8 pieces of another wrapping paper, put them together in the same exact manner that we put these pumpkins together in, open them up. You could just leave them on the center of your table for a lovely centerpiece with maybe a couple candles, or around, you know, flowers or a poinsettia, Or you could even string some string through them. Because this is lighter weight paper, they would hang beautifully on your Christmas tree. You could make ornaments out of them. So just a little idea how to be a little more creative with a skill that you've learned. All right. So again, if you don't have the instructions and the kit, stop by the library. You can pick one up. You can view this video again through the Facebook page or the New Ulm Public Library's YouTube page. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've had a wonderful time doing this tutorial, and I hope that you have too. Have a good night, guys. Bye.